Okay, so we are starting off with day 79, and the title of it is Bracing for Brackets. Today we're going to introduce two other grouping symbols known as braces and brackets. So what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to go over a problem like this. So yesterday we focused on just order of operations. And if I solve this based on order of operations, I would get a specific solution. So I would do 4 times 3, which is 12. And then with addition and subtraction left, I would move left to right, which means that I would do 25 minus 4, which is 21, plus 12, which would give me a solution of 33. And you might wonder, well, why do we have things like grouping symbols, parentheses and braces and brackets? It actually makes a difference. And if you think about the two problems that you had at the bottom of day 78, then you could see how you can kind of manipulate the parentheses to get a specific answer. So here I have the same exact problem. The only difference is that I have put in parentheses. So let's see how that changes the solution. In this case, I have to do parentheses first. 4 plus 4 is 8. I'm going to bring down everything else. Then I'm going to focus on multiplication, which is 24. And then finally subtraction, which would give me a solution of 1. So look at how different our answers are, just because we added parentheses. So that's one thing that I want you to remember as we move through today's lesson, is that the grouping symbols actually do play a part. They're putting numbers in a certain order because they want us to come up with a certain answer. So if we move them around, then we're kind of changing the outcome. Alright, so if you remember yesterday from the other video that I showed you, I gave you this cute little snowman, and this was our way of remembering what order to focus on our grouping symbols. So the first one is parentheses, and then we have brackets, and then we have braces. And one of the things that you'll realize is that I can never remember what a brace and a bracket look like. I will always mix them up. So about the only way that I can get them right is if I draw this snowman. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of different graphic organizers that I've used in the past. I really like this one that I found, and it's a foldable, and I kind of like the fact that it has the M and the D going from left to right, but notice how it uses a G instead of a parenthesis. Alright, so then I'm going to show you another one that I've used before, and it is this one. It's called gems, and so then you have your grouping symbols. Now the only problem that I have with this one is that their grouping symbols are in the wrong order. But again, instead of a P for parentheses, you have the G for grouping symbols, the E for exponents, the M stands for multiplication and division, and going from left to right, and the S stands for subtraction and addition, going from left to right. It doesn't matter which order you write subtraction and addition in, it matters where it's at in the problem. So if you want to copy this down, that would be really helpful, because you are going to see this again in class. Alright, so now let's kind of take that information and use it with this problem right here. And I'm pretty certain you have this problem in your packet. Alright, so I'm going to get some tape, because I found yesterday that me trying to write and hold the iPad and hold the paper just did not work out very well. And I am going to write down my acronym. And even this is not working out well. Alright, so here we have gems. Again, it is parentheses, whatever this is, and whatever this is. And if you cannot make them, it's okay. This one looks okay. This one looks not okay. It's all right. Exponents, multiplication or division, subtraction or addition. Either one. But remember, it's from going left to right. Okay? And if you want to draw your snowman over here, you can do that. And that way you can remember it. All right. Now, the great thing about the grouping symbols is that they usually kind of fall in this pattern where it's from inside the problem to the outside of the problem. So that actually works in our favor. So again, the first thing that I see when I look over here at Jim's is grouping symbols, and I need to look for parentheses. And I see one set of parentheses. Now, it's going to be really important that you write down everything that you have. So, once you've used a grouping symbol, it can go away. So notice how I'm not including the parentheses. And I'm just going to kind of come down here and write everything down. And I usually write it underneath it. Ooh, but I noticed something. Here, I have a number right beside a grouping symbol, but no operation. Now, some of you may remember what that means. And in this case, anytime you have a number beside a grouping symbol, it means to multiply. So I can bring down that multiplication symbol. And I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm just going to write it right there so I don't forget. Alright, so we've completed our parentheses. I'm going to check it off. Now we have to look for, let me see what it's called, brackets. Alright, so this is what's inside of brackets, this whole entire expression. So within the brackets, I have to do order of operations. So multiplication comes before addition. So that means 10 plus 14, which would give me a total of 24. Again, I have used all of that, so I'm going to mark it out and write down everything else that I still need to include in my problem. And I'm trying to show you with my pen movements. Alright, here we go. So, the last grouping symbol that we have is the brace, and it is 24 divided by 4, which is 6. Again, I'm done with that, so I don't need it anymore, but I still need all of this. And then I'm going to go from left to right. So 2 times 5 is 10, and 10 times 6 is 60. And so my answer should be 60. Now, one thing that I want you to pay attention to is all the work that I put into this one expression. You're going to need to put forth the work so that way you don't make a mistake. Now, if I look at the answer key, they've got it all fancy. But I wanted to reiterate the fact that when you have a number beside a grouping symbol, that it means to multiply. Okay? Alright, so that is the intro to our lesson. You have 2 pages that go along with this. One is bracing for brackets. The other one is bracing for brackets homework. I do expect you to do both. So that way we can make sure that we understand everything. And I will go over these in just a few minutes.